presented to a member exemplifying a career achievement in guiding the interpretive profession by instruction, mentoring, research, writing, frontline interpretation, and management, and who provides strong support for NAI. And before we introduce this year's fellow, can I have any fellows in the room stand up? Our 2015 NAI Fellow is Dr. Michael Gross, Professor Emeritus of Environmental Education and Interpretation at the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point. For nearly 40 years, Mike has been building an interpretive program at the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point. With passion and determination, he developed courses, practical experiences, and guidebooks that would prepare students to become professional interpreters and managers. Today, the Stevens Point Interpretive Program is nationally recognized, I would argue internationally recognized, as one of the largest and most well-known interpretive training institutions in the country. A charter member of NAI, Mike's greatest contribution, I feel funny saying Mike, I should say Dr. Gross's greatest contributions are perhaps his inspirational mentoring of college students as future interpreters. He has advised thousands of students during his career. He tirelessly guided them through course prep, helped them find positions in the field after graduations. He's advised over 50 graduate students who also went on to contribute to the environmental effort. Dr. Gross was chosen by his colleagues to receive the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point Teaching Excellence Award in 1981 and 1987. He received the Aldo Leopold Award from the Wisconsin Association of Environmental Education in 1987, the highest honor that organization has for long-term exemplary service to environmental education. In 2003, he won the College of Natural Resources Scholarship Award for his numerous contributions to the Natural Resources Program. Interpreters across the country are familiar with the 5 practical interpretive guidebooks, the Interpretive Handbook series, which he and Ron Zimmerman have co-authored. Raise your hand if you have those books on your bookshelf, right? If you don't, you should. These publications and numerous presentations around the world have made Zimmerman and Gross household names in interpretation. Although now retired, he still works tirelessly to promote interpretation. According to Dr. Gross, seeing the students succeed in becoming professional is the greatest reward for what I've done. For his lifetime of supporting students, of supporting NAI, and of supporting the profession of interpretation, I present to you our NAI 2015 Fellow, Dr. Michael Gross.
Wow, this is going to put me over the weight limit. This is truly wonderful. A couple of days ago, John shared with me that several people have said, well, you can't just give it to Gross. It's Gross and Zimmerman. So I told Ron, Ron's a white-haired gentleman sitting in the front. I told Ron that I would share this with him, and he said he wants the part with the lighthouse. Well, just a few words. 2 minutes. So I share this award with my good friend and my longtime colleague. 38 years I've been working with Ron. And Ron was on the selection committee that hired me in 1977. And I remember distinctly this April afternoon, sitting on a stump. He was getting ready to meet a school bus full of children. And he had about 10 minutes that he could sit down and interview me for the position. And the position was to teach one course in interpretation and to be the university coordinator for the Central Wisconsin Environmental Station. And so it was from those humble beginnings that he and I developed the interpretation program. He told the selection committee, incidentally, that because I had absolutely no formal training in interpretation, I had been a biology teacher and a naturalist for a few years, and he said that he liked my grassroots experience that I had, and that he could teach me everything I needed to know about it. And of course, he's the more intelligent and certainly the more skilled and more creative member of the duo. Just ask him. So we developed, we started right off immediately team teaching, developed a 4-course sequence in interpretation, and included a 2-course sequence in environmental education. I taught the environmental education courses because that was my expertise at the time. And then he and I team taught the interpretation courses. And at the time, we're talking about around 1980, there were really very few good teaching materials. You know, Freeman Tilden, of course, but beyond that, not too much. So we decided to write our own books. And so that was the beginning of the Interpreter's Handbook series. And that was highly successful. In fact, it's been translated into a couple of different languages, and we've been, and it has resulted in us being asked to do workshops and to do consulting work. And so that was the beginning of our working group that we call Schmeeckley Reserve Interpreters. And so we've been doing projects since the late 1980s all around the country and abroad, and it's been just wonderful, the experience that we've had together over all these years. So our team has now grown. We are a team of 5, and they're all sitting right here in the front. I retired from teaching 12 years ago, but we continue to do these consulting projects. And so there's Ron and Jim Buchholz and Bacon SB and Brenda Lackey, and she's my replacement on the faculty. And so we're continuing to do these projects and continuing to enjoy all of this, the wonderful experiences that we've been having. So it's been great just to talk a little bit about my association with the NAI. I've been a member of the profession for almost 50 years because I was a naturalist before I came to Stevens Point. And when I was employed as a county naturalist, I joined the Association of Interpretive Naturalists, so I was an early member of that. And of course, the 1988 merger of the WIA and the AIN, leading to the National Association for Interpretation, was really a springboard for growth in the profession. It brought together cultural and natural interpreters so we could all learn from one another. And that's been a wonderful thing. I've learned so much from the cultural interpreters over the years, all the programs that I've gone to at the various conventions. And so today we have abundant resources. In 1980 there were very few, now we have abundant resources. And so we have to do a little more marketing for our books. But as was mentioned, my greatest reward is seeing so many of my former students with meaningful careers in our profession. Like pointers? The day I retired, I told my students, I hope that you will have as rewarding a career as I have had. And to the, excuse me, and to the NAI, I want to thank you for being such an important part of that career. Thank you.